And we're live.
All right.
So, welcome to Swole Products
Right.
Recovery. Just a little.
Yes,
And you
bear
can hear
with
us.
us as we make sure it's all working. So, I'm Gabe, and this is Noah, and we have Nola with us for our meeting today since she doesn't want to sleep in her crib. But yeah, so another new venture in the same vein as ENC Recovery. Only now we're going to have a website called Swole Products that you can become a member of, where you can get lots of great resources from us for your fitness and recovery journey. Here in this stream, this is a basically like a recovery meeting. Any 12-step group, any church group, any kind of recovery meeting that you might attend. This is just a combination of all of them. We don't restrict this to any particular addiction or that you even have to be in recovery. Your higher power, is your business, and etc. So I hope that you'll join us and just kind of jump into the conversation. We will usually read from a recovery book or bring a topic for discussion, but we would love to talk about anything that you want to talk about. So let's just start out today, as there's probably not even anybody online yet. We'll start out reading from one of our AA books. Right?
Sure, I was going to start off with the daily prayer, whatever. What is it called?
Oh, yes, the Serenity Prayer.
The Serenity Prayer.
Okay, yes. Yeah. We've been homebound and not to too many meetings lately, so
Right.
We got to get back in the rhythm here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start with the Serenity Prayer.
Okay.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
I was going to say, grant us the serenity for some reason. I'm losing it.
Feel like reading for us?
Nope. What is today? Is it the 23rd?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. March is flying by.
I will let you read. You are the reading master.
Who needs reading glasses? So this should be interesting. All right. March 23rd, and no more reservations. That's the title.
Oh.
We've seen the truth again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. This is particularly true of women. Potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. These words are underlined in my book. That's from Alcoholics Anonymous, the big book. They are true for men and women alcoholics. On many occasions, I've turned to this page and reflected on this passage. I need never fool myself by recalling my sometimes differing drinking patterns or by believing I am cured. I like to think that if sobriety is God's gift to me, then my sober life is my gift to God. I hope God is happy with his gift as I am with mine. What do you think?
I'll let you go.
Okay. I mean, this is like kind of an old school reading for sure, but it's kind of, for me, still important, like a back to the basics kind of thing that, once we're alcoholics, we're always alcoholics, right? And I like this page because it's just that gentle reminder that
there's no going back.
There's no going back, and there's no negotiation, like.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what we used to do with ourselves all the time.
Right.
We're like, oh, I can probably just drink a little bit.
Right. Or, I would say, well, I'm not an alcoholic because I can go a long period of time without drinking, and, it's no big deal for me. I mean, but.
Maybe you could. But...
Right. Well, alcoholism is different for everybody. I mean, here it's talking like male and female, because it's kind of old school, the female alcoholic or whatever. But I think I think if you have a problem with alcoholism, if you feel that it's negatively affecting your life, then you're an alcoholic. It doesn't have to be, I think maybe in the old days it was more of a checklist, like, do you drink daily? Do you drink in the morning? Do you drink alone? Some of those things, which definitely are great parameters for kind of, self-evaluation, like, do I have a problem? But for a lot of us, it can look a lot different than that. Like, I would classify.
It was weird. Sorry, cut you off, but you were talking.
Right.
You were talking about what they used to ask you back in the day, and when I went to rehab, what made me feel like very alcoholic was they asked, "Do you drink? Are you a binge drinker or are you a daily drinker?" And I got so confused by that question. I was like, well, I binge drink every day, so it didn't really make, like, why would that not be one of the options? They made me feel very
well, you just covered both bases. I mean, you couldn't answer that question wrong. I mean, but for some people it is, like I would consider myself a binge drinker. I didn't drink every day. I didn't need to. Went on, long sprees of not drinking, but every time I drank, it was a problem.
Gone there though. If you didn't have the kids to worry about, you probably would have done it every day.
Well, maybe more recently before we got into recovery, but I'm talking like lifelong. My journey with alcohol, I tend to look back on that and just kind of see, where did this become a problem? Was I always kind of, destined to have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol? But that's kind of what I'm referencing, that I would go years without drinking, and that would be my life. And then when I did go back to drinking, during all those intervals, it was always problem drinking. It was never, oh, I'm just going to have a glass of wine with dinner. It was, you're going to get completely wasted, or, just something not healthy. So I don't know. I mean, to me, that's alcoholism. It has many faces.
Do you think it's been worse now that we have to be homebound for this? For, I don't know, this past week or so?
Recovery?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I haven't even like thought about drinking, but I mean, I don't know. How about you? I mean, it probably, I mean, bars are closed, right? I mean, it's probably a little bit harder for the active drinker, I would think. Well, I don't know.
What was that in Texas? You could do drive by and pick up alcohol?
Drive through, yeah. Yeah.
I think people are still wanting their alcohol during these times.
Right.
Which is insane.
Well, what about you? Since you asked the question, do you think, does staying at home challenge your recovery, or is it
not anymore, any less, the same?
The same.
Yeah. Okay. Every now and then think about it. I'm not really even mean to.
Right. Right.
Just
but
depending on the time of the day.
Like reminders and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to be silent. Us Americans.
I know. I know. I was just thinking about that. The silence, it's where the thinking is. It's where the serenity is. It's in the silence. Do you want to do another reading, or is there a topic you'd like to discuss?
Do you got another reading?
I didn't bring any of my books.
We got some piano music you play for people. Probably help them.
That's okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I can do the one that I put on the website today.
Oh, yeah. If I can find it.
Right. So our website is swoleproducts.com. This meeting is live on the website, and then also there is a daily meditation on there that I write, just referencing recovery topics related to our life and our journey. but just to kind of, encourage, uplift, guide, whatever, you in your recovery.
I don't know if you'll be able to read this.
Oh my gosh, it's more tiny words, which I'm in my 40s now, so I'm like losing my wonderful 20/20 vision I enjoyed for so many years.
You get
I have no
40/40.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Because you're age, you know?
I know, I get it. All right, this is called a flexible spirit. What I'm thinking about today is flexibility. Not whether I can touch my toes, but whether I can roll with the punches of life and keep my serenity. Life is unpredictable now more than ever, and sometimes I find myself trying to predict the future and mold it to my will. I've employed this strategy hundreds of times, and almost always with negative or null results. Here's an example. I went to community college right out of high school with plans to complete my basic courses there and transfer to a 4-year school. I was working full-time and partying on the weekends. It was too much and something had to give, so I decided to take a break from school. Then I worked in a factory and my boss gave me a speech about wasted potential. I enrolled in college again. I enjoyed my classes, but ultimately had to quit my job, had to quit to keep my job, which supported my drinking and shopping addictions. After my divorce from my first husband, I decided to go back to school again. I was older, wiser, and had passion to finish. Then my father died unexpectedly. I took my father's job and went back to drinking. Gabe plus college degree equals never going to happen. I tried again and again to mold my life into what I thought it should be. I was driving and striving toward an imagined future. I didn't seek my higher power's guidance, and I rarely stopped to treasure the moments of my life as they passed. This, my friends, is not flexibility, and more importantly, it's not surrender. In recovery, I found that this is my only option. I surrender to my higher power's will for my life. Anytime I try to use my own power to make something happen, I am met with resistance, pain, and stress, and I miss out on enjoying my life as it is, in each precious moment. Prayer for the day. God of my understanding, give me a flexible spirit. Let me accept my life as it comes and treasure each precious moment. A little longer than a daily meditation out of our recovery books, but yeah, I mean, that was just what I was reflecting on today, is not being able to force things, and that being so important to my recovery. Just surrendering in every moment and letting my higher power guide my life. I think when I feel like I have to do something, or I've got to accomplish this, or this is the definite next step, then I'm inviting chaos and relapse, because I'm not peaceful. I'm not in a place of serenity. What about you?
My mind's blank today.
Your mind's blank.
Yes.
Well, then you don't have any stress, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm mostly stressing about our job, but I'm trying to. And I know you hate it when I just leave it up to our higher power, because then I'm just not doing anything. And I think there's like a line between just not doing anything or doing it your way and doing it God's way. If God's given me the tools to do these things, then I probably should do that and not just not work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think in recovery, right, we say the next right thing. So when you don't know what to do, doing the next right thing. And that doesn't mean like, what I was doing with the college thing, like, just like pounding through, like, I'm going to make this happen or whatever, but the next right thing. So like doing nothing probably is not the next right thing, unless you're really led to, because I think sometimes that is, like where our higher power asks us to trust him, is like, do nothing, wait for the next right thing. Why are you laughing at me?
Why not?
You better be laughing with me. So like I think today you setting up the stream and us doing our first stream as Swole Products is the next right thing, even though oh hi baby. Even though we're kind of in process with the website and having lots of issues getting it up and running the way that we want it to be, this was important, and I am really happy that you set it up and took this next step.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, sweetie.
Some of this stuff is my comfort zone. Like I know how to do this, and if anybody needs help setting up a stream thing,
right, you're good at that, and that's a great way for us to communicate with other people in recovery, especially when we're supposed to be staying in our houses or whatever. But yeah, I mean, having peace no matter what. We're doing this today. It feels great, and I hope that it's helpful to somebody out there. And tomorrow we'll be doing something else, and hopefully that's the right thing as well.
Right. So this will be up on our website again. So and you can still leave us comments. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's on our website, but we have a link to.
Yeah, just follow the link to YouTube, and you can leave messages there, and we will talk about whatever you want to talk about. For now, we're doing Mondays at 1:30. That is subject to change if we find out something else works better. You can leave feedback on that too, like I'm never home at this time or whatever.
Right. And they will definitely be longer once we get comments and.
Yeah. I mean, we don't just want to like keep reading to you. But yeah. I think
read kid books, children, baby
right,
books.
Right. We can read baby books
for you.
Yeah, but I think roughly we would set aside about an hour for this meeting. So come join in, and let's talk recovery. Maybe you can teach us something.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.